Good morning, Chair and members of the committee. Serena Dolly, staff of the committee. The first bill on the list is House Bill 1074, which addresses documentation and processes governing landlords' claims for damages to residential premises. It's early. There are 3 amendments in the EBB. The first is SCRE 009. That amendment extends the timeline for a landlord to provide a statement and documentation for retaining any portion of a tenant deposit to 60 days. The second amendment is SCRE 005. This one's offered by Representative Peterson. It modifies the time limit for a landlord to take action against a tenant for amounts owed in excess of the deposit from 1 year to 3 years. It also applies the time limit only to lawsuits filed against the tenant instead of any action taken into tenancies initiated on or after the new documentation requirements take effect. And the third amendment is SCRE 006. This one's offered by Representative Clicker, and it changes the time limit for a landlord to take action against a tenant for amounts owed from 1 year to 2 years.
Any questions for staff on the underlying bill or amendments? All right. Hold House Bill 1167. We want to make sure that all parties have gotten the information that they need to. So just for your knowledge, we will not be moving 1167 today, but we will plan on moving that soon. So we will start with House Bill 1074. Vice Chair Alvarado.
Chair, I move that House Bill 1074 be reported out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
It has been moved and seconded that House Bill 1074 be reported out of committee with a due pass recommendation. Are there amendments?
There are. I move adoption of amendment SCRE 009.
Actually, let me, I'll have the maker of that amendment move that. Sorry.
Yes, there is an amendment.
Representative Clicker to move your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to, 009. Yes. I'd like to move amendment SRE 009.
Amendment SRE 009 has been moved and seconded. Discussion. Representative Clicker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Basically, this just gives a chance for landlords, just a little extra time, extending it to 60 days, because they're going to be giving up quite a bit on some of this. So if we could, at 60 days, just seems like the right number. So that's where we're at.
All right, thank you. Further discussion, I will take a shot at this. I am going to ask for a no vote on this. The sponsor has already moved from 21 days to 30, and I think while there still might be some space between the 30 and 60 mark, waiting 2 months for your damage deposit when you have to move and put together the finances it takes to get a new place to live can be quite onerous on the renter. So for now, I would ask for a no vote on SCRE 009, but appreciate the intent and think there is still room to work on this piece of legislation. So all in favor of SCRE 009, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. No.
Nay.
The amendment is not adopted. Vice Chair Alvarado.
I move adoption of amendment SCRE 005.
Amendment SCRE 005 has been moved and seconded. That is my amendment. Again, just trying to find, this is obviously there are a lot of kind of dials to move in this bill. This is one of those. We heard from both the advocates and the landlords that this seemed like a fair balance instead of limiting the action a landlord can take to find a tenant from 1 year, that we moved it to 3 years, understanding the complicated nature that often these interactions take place. So I appreciate the work done by the prime sponsor and the advocates, as well as working with both sides to move this. So I am asking for a yes vote on SERE 005. Further discussion? Representative Barkis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and we too appreciate this incremental work on this piece of legislation. It's a good amendment. This was one of the concerns with the ability to proceed after the damages and stuff. So putting this out a little bit further is a good step in the right direction. I still believe we have more work to do on this, and we'll talk about that in final passage. But for that, I would say approve this amendment.
All right, further discussion on the amendment? Seeing none, all those in favor of amendment SERE 005, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Chair votes aye. Those opposed, the amendment is adopted. Amendment SERE 006, Ranking Member Clicker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to withdraw that amendment, please.
SER 006 has been withdrawn. Vice Chair Alvarado.
I move that the adopted amendments be incorporated into Substitute House Bill 1074 and that Substitute House Bill 1074 be reported out of committee with a due pass recommendation.
It has been moved and seconded that Substitute House Bill 1074 be reported out of committee with a due pass recommendation as amended. Let's vote on this. I'll get on this. No, never mind. Never mind. Sorry, I was getting way ahead of myself. If the clerks could bring up the tally sheet and discussion on House Bill 1074. Again, this is a bill that we have seen in over a number of years. I think this addresses a very significant issue that many tenants have when it comes to dealing with their damage deposit. I think this sets some very fair and clear parameters as far as reporting goes, making sure that both sides, if there is contention, that both sides have equal amounts of information so they can hopefully work together to resolve any issues. And if it does have to go further than that, that either the courts or any kind of arbitration has the information that they need to make a fair and impartial decision. So I am asking for a yes vote on House Bill 1074 as amended. Further discussion, Representative Barkis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I do appreciate some of the work that's going on with this piece of legislation. We're getting closer. It's taken a few years, but I think we are getting closer. I'm still going to recommend a no vote today on this, and for the primary reason that we still have concerns that the continuing presence of legislation and regulation to the housing provider community, as we've seen, is creating more concerns. We want to stave off any further loss of supply in that arena. However, with this one and compared to some of the others that we've been talking about, this has some great merit, and I do believe that we will see it as it moves to the next phase, get into where we can hopefully get to yes on this, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Representative Barkis. Further discussion? Clerk, if you would call the roll, please.
Peterson.
Aye.
Representative Peterson votes aye. Alvarado.
Alvarado votes aye.
Representative Alvarado votes aye. Levitt.
Levitt votes aye.
Representative Levitt votes aye. Clicker.
Clicker, no, do not pass.
Representative Clicker votes nay, do not pass. Connors.
Connors, nay, do not pass.
Representative Connors votes nay, do not pass. Barkis.
Barkis votes no without recommendation.
Representative Barkis votes nay without recommendation. Bateman.
Bateman, aye.
Representative Bateman votes aye. Chop.
Chop votes aye.
Representative Chop votes aye. Entenmann.
Representative Entenmann votes aye.
Representative Entenmann votes aye. Hutchins.
Hutchins, no without recommendation.
Representative Hutchins votes nay without recommendation. Lowe.
No, do not pass.
Representative Lowe votes nay, do not pass. Reed.
Reed votes aye.
Representative Reed votes aye. Taylor.
Taylor votes aye.
Representative Taylor votes aye.
Would any member like to change their vote? Seeing none, clerk will announce the tally.
Mr. Chair, you have 8 ayes, 5 nays, and 0 absent or excused.
By your vote, substitute House Bill 1074 is reported out of committee as amended with a do pass recommendation. Vice Chair Alvarado.
Chair, I move that proposed House Bill 1124